Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Last year's undrafted free agent class really bore a lot of fruit. And when you have guys like Evan Anderson, that is going to play a substantial role for the 49ers for years to come, it's easy to get kind of lost in what he provided, but he wasn't the only one. Jaylen Mahoney, safety, one of the biggest risers, but he was at the end last year. Jumped up 16 spots from last year's countdown to this year's. Last year he was ranked 89, bottom of the barrel. This year 73. Still has a ways to go, but Jaylen Mahoney has proven and comes in number 73 on this list that, one, he belongs, he fits the culture, and you add into that, there's a lot of uncertainty at that safety position. With the injury to Malik Mustafa, Jair Brown, you're bringing in a lot of kind of old hats. But Jaylen Mahoney has proven that multiple-time practice squad player of the week, got called up to 3 separate games last year, promoted from the practice squad. Like, this is a player that the 49ers they covet. Now, he was a special teams player, and he was a defensive player. Well, both those coordinators are gone. Can Jaylen Mahoney make the same statement that he made last year with Robert Saleh and Brant Boyer? That's yet to be determined. But if minicamp is anything, he flashed again. He was just a guy, I was out there at training camp last year, and you just saw him repeatedly. He was 49, switches number to 38. He's somebody that shows up on tape. He's somebody that shows up on film. You feel his presence at practice, and every time they go team, he's making plays. Minicamp this year, he finished the last day of minicamp. There are only 3. Picked off Mac Jones and team, offense versus defense, 11 on 11s. So he's just a playmaker. So comes in number 73, wears jersey number 38 now. He's a safety / special teamer. He's small, 5'10", definitely on the small side, 188. Not big. 31-inch arms, not great. 24 years old, but ran a 4.5 440, which that's not bad. But again, this is an undrafted free agent. 157 10-yard split, pretty solid. 7.03 cone, pretty solid. 33.5-inch vertical, solid. 10-foot broad jump, and a 19 bench press reps. That's very, very good. So athletically, yeah, he's small. He doesn't have elite speed or really any elite measurables, but he doesn't have any bad measurables either. He's just tough, grindy, and very, very intelligent, and has a lot of playing experience in the SEC. He grew up at South Point High School, his hometown in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Goes to Vanderbilt, plays there for 4 seasons, appeared at 54 games. You're talking about experience and toughness and production at Vanderbilt, playing in the SEC against some of the top-end, athletic schools out there. He's played against the best of the best. Had 247 tackles. That's stupid good. 17 tackle for losses, 4 sacks, 18 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, forced fumble, 4 fumble recovery. I mean, what he was able to accomplish in college, you're just checking off all of the experience and production and whatever it is that you want out of him. Like, he passed the college test. He just doesn't have any of the elite attributes or traits that pushes him up draft boards. And let's be honest, I think the safety position has surpassed that of the running back at being the most devalued position in the NFL. There's just, whether it's salaries or you're looking at draft pick value, safety position is just being completely written off of today. And that is something that has permeated Robert Saleh, Miko Ryans, Sorensen, a little bit different, but it's just not a valued position anymore. He has 2 brothers and 4 sisters, a large family, love it. His brother Jordan plays football for University of Massachusetts, UMass, love that. Now, back to Jaylen, National Honor Society member in high school. 2 times he was all-region in high school. Team captain not once but twice in the SEC. Honorable mention All-SEC. Honor roll student at Vanderbilt. You go to Vandy, you're not worried about academics or intelligence. But he was an honor roll student at Vanderbilt not once but twice. Was put on the Senior Bowl watch list, but named to the Shrine Bowl instead. That kind of hurts his stock a little bit. If he could have went to the Shrine Bowl, that would have been huge. I mean, to the Senior Bowl, that would have been huge. But anyway, doesn't get drafted in the 2024 draft. He's going into his second year. He signs with the 49ers as an undrafted free agent. didn't make the initial 53, gets cut, but they bring him back on the practice squad the next day and was elevated to the team's active roster 3 times. Most importantly, that Patriots game. That's where he got the most playing time, mostly on special teams. Played 30 regular season snaps, all on special teams. That's kind of what it is. He had a 57.5 grade. Take for that what you want. But then you go back to his preseason tape. He played a lot. 88 preseason snaps, all at the safety position. Had a 62.4 grade. Nothing great, nothing terrible. Just can he get the experience in the system? He's one of those just productive guys that does his job, has instincts. It just does what he's supposed to do. I don't know if he's ever going to be an NFL starter. It would take quite a few injuries to get to that point, but no doubt he could be a contributing special teamer. No doubt he could be a backup safety. I think that's kind of his role, and that's what the 49ers brought him back for. And even with Robert Saleh coming in and bringing in 3 safeties, drafting Marcus Siegel, all that stuff, they still have room for Jaylen Mahoney. And they've moved on from some other safeties. They are keeping this guy around. He's with his second year. He signed a 1-year, $960,000 contract with the Niners, 0 guarantees. So he's not high up on the pecking order. And in his last year, his career earnings, this is what undrafted free agents make, $355,000 made last year. And that's in 3 games played. That's kind of where he's at. So what is next for him? Got to prove that he can outperform some of those veteran back into the roster safety players. And if he could do that, I think practice squad's probably where he's going to be again. He's already proven that he can help the team improve and get ready for game day by winning those practice squad players of the week, which he won multiple times last year. So he's a guy that brings the culture, the competitiveness, the work that you want to see day in and day out. He shows up in training camp. He shows up in practice. And so a lot of beat reporters last year kept talking about him. Ant, with 49ers Cutback, was one of the first ones. And we were at the same training camp practice and was just like, dude, this guy's making plays all over the place. Like, he belongs on the field. It's just, can he take those necessary steps to require playing time? Probably practice squad this year. I don't see him making the initial 53, especially with Robert Saleh bringing in all these experienced vets. But could he be a guy that sits another year on the practice squad, gets called up for special teams once or twice again, and then next year fights for that number 3 safety role? I think that's kind of the pathway that you want. And with the injuries to Malik and Jair Brown, does leave a little bit of room for him. So if he can show out again and improve, and there's an outside shot. So Jaylen Mahoney is one of my favorite kind of punchers on the back end of this roster. Again, he's number 73. I don't have him making the 53, but there's a pathway. And if he could just show and make a couple plays, stick out a little bit extra, and catch on with Brant Boyer as one of his special teams guys, not hard to see. Excited to see what Jaylen Mahoney can bring this year, and definitely going to be one of the ones I circle number 38 out there on the practice field, seeing if he can jump out and steal some reps. I have to say thank you to Ben, Josh, and Zach, executive producers of this series, and for us in the 49ers Rush team, keep counting them down.